Right, I'm going to make a boeuf bourguignon, big one. Before I do that, I need to get in my cooking outfit. I'm not saying this is the way to make boeuf bourguignon, it's the way that I make boeuf bourguignon, and I don't always do it exactly the same every time. And what I'm going to use, we'll do a list and I'll put it on the screen with weights and stuff, because I don't usually weigh anything. But what I'll be using is joint of beef. What have we got? 1.6 kilos. A bag of shallots, a couple of big onions, a couple of carrots, plain flour, tomato puree, something sweet, honey or sugar, mushrooms, optional, tin of tomatoes, that's in the cupboard, and seasoning, probably half a bulb of garlic, some ground black pepper and salt, and some cumin ground. So next thing I'll do, chop the beef up and get it browned. I'll try and get my face in the next shot. GoPro, stop capture. Got me chopped tomatoes, and obviously you need some cooking oil as well. Get your shallots, put them in a bowl, cover them with boiling water and set them to one side. Check out my latte art. So I'm taking my beef out of the packaging. Just take this mesh thing off. This is just a roasting joint. Any beef will do. It's going to be slow cooked, so it doesn't really matter if it's a cheap cut. Brisket is good. And I'll just roughly chop this. And I'll sort of slice it into steaks that I can throw on the barbecue to brown it. Make sure you've got a sharp knife for this. I've got some gristly bits in there, I might cut those out. So then just chop the onions up roughly. Chop the carrots. So I'm just going to grind up some peppercorns and some cumin. Beef's still cooking, by the way. You don't want to leave it on too long. Just brown the outsides. If you cook it too long, it'll be like tough as leather and it won't soften in the oven. At this point I've set the fan oven up to 150 Celsius. Right, all that in. Start chopping the other stuff. Garlic, mushrooms. That's it. Yep, steaming pile of meat there. Going to leave it a few minutes to cool down. Then I'll chop it up so I don't burn the hands, obviously. Give it a stir. Set that down to simmer now. I'm just going to chop this into chunks. You can see it's still quite rare. I just want to brown the outside, give it some colour. The oven will do the rest. Chunks about that size are good. Do the rest of them. So I've got this nicely softened, slightly browned. I'm going to throw in garlic and turn it up a bit. I'll put tip in. Tomato puree, optional, but I'd like to put in punnet tomatoes. And then make it thick, I will put in a couple of tablespoons of flour. Give that a cup, swish around. Normal plain flour. I'll throw in the meat. And then whole bottle of wine. Any cheap wine will do, but it's got to be proper wine, like 12% wine. Don't get the low alcohol stuff, it's horrible and sweet. Speaking of sweet, I generally sweeten up a little bit using honey here. You just put a couple of tablespoons of sugar in, or 1 tablespoon of sugar. Okay, the shallots. This is the important bit, it gives it the flavour. It's a pain in the arse peeling them, but cut the top and the bottom off, peel them, throw them in a pan with some butter, and get them nice and hot and brown, and you want to get sort of caramelising on the outsides. Okay, I've done that, just simmered it for a little while. It's now going to go into the oven at 150 for 2 hours, and then another hour, the last hour, I'll put in the shallots and the mushrooms. So 3 hours cooking total, just in there. I'll put a lid on. If it looks like it's not very thick, last hour I'll leave the lid off and it browns the top a little bit. Olivia, biggest fan. What do you think of my boeuf bourguignon?
I think it's very tasty and all the flavours mixed together.
Good?
Yes. I would eat it any day.
Good, there you are. Okay, I've got the these all browned and nicely blackened. 1 hour from the end, I'll tip these in with the butter. I'll rinse it out with a bit of red wine and throw it in, as well as the mushrooms. Then see you in 3 hours. GoPro stop capture. I forgot something. I usually throw in a handful of raisins. I'm going to just put those in now. GoPro. Right, another couple of hours. I'm going to go and swap an engine and have a coffee.